Let us find ourselves in an ancient Persian city as the evening descends, as the heat of the day releases its grip and the gardens begin to breathe their perfume into the cooling air. This is a city of beauty and order, built around flowing water and green spaces, a place where civilization has shaped the desert into something graceful and sustaining. We are here simply to observe, to wander through these quiet hours as the sun sets and the city prepares for night, letting the peace of this ancient place settle around us like the softest silk. The city is built of brick, sun-baked clay, shaped into walls and archways, domes and towers. The bricks are the color of sand and earth, sometimes glazed in brilliant blues and greens, creating patterns that catch the light, geometric designs that speak of mathematical precision and artistic vision. The buildings rise around us, their facades decorated with intricate tilework, arabesques and calligraphy, and vines rendered in ceramic and glaze, beautiful and cool to the touch. As the sun lowers toward the western horizon, the light becomes golden and gentle, no longer the harsh brightness of midday, but something softer, more forgiving. Long shadows stretch across the streets and courtyards, creating patterns of light and dark, warm and cool. The air itself seems to glow, dust motes floating in the slanting beams, everything touched with this honeyed luminescence that belongs only to the hour before sunset. We walk along a street lined with plane trees, their broad leaves creating dappled shade, their bark mottled in shades of cream and grey. The street is paved with stone, swept clean, bordered by channels of water that flow constantly, fed by the qanat system that brings water from distant mountains through underground tunnels, emerging here in the city to sustain life and beauty. The sound of running water is everywhere, a constant gentle music that underlies all other sounds. The water channels are lined with tile, their surfaces smooth and cool, the water clear and fresh. Small fish dart in the current, silver flashes catching the light. Trees are planted at intervals along the channels, their roots grateful for the constant moisture. Gardens spread behind walls, glimpses of green visible through archways and gates. The suggestion of paradise hidden from casual view. A garden gate stands open, and we enter a small private paradise, a courtyard designed for peace and contemplation. At the center is a pool, rectangular and shallow, its surface still and reflective, mirroring the sky and the trees that surround it. The pool is bordered with blue tiles, intricate patterns that seem to make the water even more precious, framing it like a jewel. Flower beds surround the pool, roses and jasmine, lilies and irises, their colours vivid against the green of the garden. The scent of flowers is almost overwhelming in its sweetness, especially as the air cools and the perfumes become more concentrated. Jasmine particularly fills the evening air, its white flowers glowing in the dimming light, its fragrance intoxicating and pure. Roses add their own perfume, ranging from delicate to intense, pink and white and deep red, blooms heavy on their stems. In one corner of the garden, a pavilion provides shade and shelter, its roof supported by slender columns, its interior cool and inviting. Carpets are spread on the floor, beautiful pieces woven with intricate patterns, soft under bare feet. Cushions are arranged along the walls, covered in silk and embroidered cotton, places to recline and rest, to contemplate the beauty of the garden. A family is gathering here for the evening meal, preparing to break the day's fast if it is Ramadan, or simply to enjoy the cool evening air and each other's company. Servants move quietly, bringing trays of food, setting them on low tables, arranging everything with care and grace. The food is abundant and varied, a celebration of the city's prosperity and the garden's bounty. There are platters of rice cooked with saffron, each grain separate and perfect, golden and fragrant. There are stews of lamb and vegetables, rich with spices, cinnamon and turmeric, cardamom and black pepper. There are bowls of yogurt mixed with cucumber and mint, cool and refreshing. There are flatbreads, still warm, soft and slightly chewy, perfect for scooping and tearing. There are dates and pomegranates, pistachios and almonds, the fruits and nuts for which Persia is famous. The family settles on the cushions, reclining in comfort, beginning their meal with prayer and gratitude. They eat slowly, savouring each dish, conversing quietly, enjoying the peace of the garden and the pleasure of good food shared with loved ones. The conversation is gentle, touching on the day's events, small observations, nothing that disturbs the tranquil mood. Laughter comes easily, warm and affectionate, the sound of people who are comfortable together. As they eat, the light continues to fade, the sky deepening from gold to rose to violet. The first stars appear, faint at first, and then growing brighter. A servant lights oil lamps around the garden, small flames that flicker in glass holders, creating pools of warm light that push back the gathering darkness without banishing it entirely. The lamplight reflects in the pool, doubling the flames, creating a scene of almost magical beauty. Beyond the garden walls, the city is settling into its evening rhythms. In the bazaar, merchants are closing their stalls, packing away goods, sweeping the floors of their small shops. The bazaar is covered with vaulted ceilings, creating a cool, shaded space even in the heat of day. And now, as evening comes, it grows dim and quiet. The merchants exchange final pleasantries, agree on prices for tomorrow's transactions, lock their doors, and head for home. The scent of cooking drifts through the streets, every household preparing its evening meal. Bread is being baked in clay ovens, the distinctive aroma of yeast and wheat, of fire and sustenance. Onions and garlic sizzle in oil, spices are toasted and ground, meat is grilled over charcoal. The smells blend and mingle, creating an olfactory map of the city, each neighborhood adding its own notes to the symphony. In the hammam, the public bath, the day's last visitors are finishing their ablutions. The bathhouse is a temple of water and heat, its domed ceiling decorated with small glass tiles that catch and scatter light, creating a starry effect even in daylight. The rooms are warm and steamy, the air thick with moisture, the sound of water splashing and voices echoing off the tiled walls. People move through the sequence of rooms, from hot to warm to cool, washing away the day's dust and fatigue, emerging clean and refreshed, skin glowing, muscles relaxed. They dress in clean clothes, wrapping themselves in robes and turbans, and make their way home through the cooling streets, greeting neighbors, pausing to admire a particularly beautiful tile pattern, or to smell the roses blooming over a wall. The call to prayer sounds from the minarets, the muezzin's voice rising clear and melodious, calling the faithful to Maghrib, the sunset prayer. The sound carries across the city, a reminder of the sacred that punctuates each day, structuring time around prayer and devotion. Those who wish to pray make their way to the mosque or simply stop where they are, finding a clean place, turning toward Mecca, beginning the familiar movements of prayer. The mosque is a place of serene beauty, its courtyard centered on a fountain where worshippers perform their ablutions, washing hands and feet, face and arms. The water is cold and refreshing, the ritual cleansing both practical and spiritual. Inside the prayer hall, the walls are covered with calligraphy, verses from the Quran rendered in flowing Arabic script. The words themselves, decoration and meaning combined. The faithful line up in rows, shoulder to shoulder, following the Imam through the prayer. The movements synchronized and graceful, standing and bowing, kneeling and prostrating, a physical expression of devotion and submission. The prayer is not long, and when it ends, people linger for a few moments, speaking quietly or simply sitting in contemplation, enjoying the peace of the sacred space. As darkness settles completely over the city, the streets grow quieter. Families are gathered in their homes, around their courtyards, in their gardens, if they have them. Children are being prepared for sleep, bathed and dressed in clean sleeping clothes, told stories or sung lullabies, ancient tales and melodies passed down through generations. In one home, a grandmother tells the story of Rostam and Sohrab, the great hero and his tragic son, her voice rising and falling with the drama of the tale, though she keeps it gentle, appropriate for the evening hour. The children listen with wide eyes, caught up in the story, even though they've heard it many times before. Stories are treasure here, valued as highly as any material wealth, connecting past to present, teaching lessons, entertaining and educating all at once. In another house, a young woman plays the tar, a long-necked lute, her fingers moving across the strings, creating melodies that are both melancholy and beautiful, speaking of longing and love, of the distance between the soul and the divine. Her family listens in appreciative silence, the music filling the courtyard, drifting up to the stars. The night is warm, but not oppressive, the air dry and pleasant, perfect for sleeping on the rooftops, as many families do during the summer months. Sleeping mats and light blankets are carried up narrow stairs to the flat roofs, spread out under the open sky. From here, one can see across the city, the domes and minarets silhouetted against the star-filled sky. Other families on other rooftops, everyone seeking the cool air and the beauty of the night. The stars are magnificent, uncountable points of light in the deep black sky. The Milky Way stretches overhead like a river of light, and the constellations are clear and bright, patterns that Persian astronomers have studied and mapped, using them to calculate time and position, to create calendars and navigate the desert. The night sky is both beautiful and useful, a source of wonder and practical information. A cool breeze stirs, carrying the scent of the gardens, of roses and jasmine, of water and earth. The breeze is gentle and intermittent, enough to provide comfort without being disruptive, rustling the leaves of the trees, creating a soft susurrus that is almost like whispered conversation. On the rooftops, families settle into sleep, the children already drifting off, their parents lingering a while longer, talking quietly or simply lying in companionable silence, watching the stars. There is a profound peace in this, in being outside under the vast sky, part of the natural world, connected to the cosmos, yet safe and comfortable, surrounded by family and the familiar structures of home and city. Below, in the streets, a night watchman makes his rounds, his footsteps soft on the paving stones, his presence more reassurance than necessity in this peaceful city. A cat crosses a courtyard, silent and purposeful on some nocturnal errand. A fountain continues its eternal splashing, the water never stopping, never tiring, always flowing. In the garden where we began, the family has finished their meal and retired to their rooms. The lamps are being extinguished one by one, the flames dying, the darkness deepening. The pool reflects the stars now instead of lamplight, a mirror of the heavens brought down to earth. The flowers release their perfume into the night, a gift to the darkness, to the cool air, to anyone who passes and pauses to breathe deeply. And we too can pause here, in this garden, in this city, letting the peace of this ancient place watch over us. We can let go of our thoughts, our concerns, our restless plans. We can simply be present in this moment, in this beautiful space that humans have created from desert and water, from brick and tile,
scents are soothing, the sounds are gentle. There is nothing to disturb rest, nothing to prevent the gentle slide into unconsciousness. We can let ourselves drift as the city drifts, settling into the deep quiet of night, into dreams that are perhaps of gardens and flowing water, of stars and roses, of music and poetry, of all the beautiful things the Persian culture has treasured and cultivated. The city sleeps, its people safe within its walls, its gardens breathing quietly in the darkness, its fountains flowing on through the night, enduring that water will be there when morning comes, that life will continue, that beauty will endure, and we sleep with it, held by the ancient patterns, comforted by the continuity, at peace in the knowledge that this peace is real and deep and available to us. The stars wheel slowly overhead. The breeze whispers